color me impressed. Haval, you guys have outdone yourselves with the H7. In recent years, South African consumers really have been spoiled for choice when it comes to the question of which SUV should I buy. There just are so many new models on the market. This new flagship model from Haval in its home country of China is called the Big Dog. Here locally in South Africa, we just call it the H7. Now, at first glance, you might think, oh, well, they've just cribbed from Tank, and that's a Tank 300. And you'd be kind of wrong, because this vehicle, although it looks very similar to the Tank 300, is a monocoque chassis, where the Tank 300 is a ladder frame chassis. This is the same platform that you're going to find under an H6 or an H6 GT. But let's take a bit of a closer look at this new H7. Starting off with the exterior. Wow, it is such a purposeful, practical design. It's very square and chunky. You need to look no further than the plastic cladding that runs around the perimeter of the wheel arches and stuff. You can actually see they've been bolted on with Capex nuts. Very big, prominent grille with the Haval badging. And of course, those headlights that look like they've been lifted from a Land Rover Defender. Round the back, it is, once again, a very purposeful design. This is so unlike anything that Haval has released to date. And that design aesthetic flows to the interior as well. Everything inside is, once again, big and chunky and looks like it's been bolted together, although those screws are actually chrome plate plastic. But it doesn't matter, because everything in here really just feels like it belongs off-road. Well, this wouldn't be a new Chinese product if it wasn't absolutely loaded down with tech and features. And well, the H7 is exactly that. The first thing you're going to notice when you climb into the car is the giant 14.3-inch infotainment screen and the 12.3-inch driver's digital gauges. Now, once again, a little bit of a point of contention is that although there are a row of buttons at the bottom that you can control things, if you are connected through your Apple CarPlay and Auto to the infotainment, you have to go out of Apple CarPlay and then go and adjust settings for the ADAS system or your climate control. It's a little bit frustrating, but you can live with it. Well, as far as other features are concerned, well, there's a giant panoramic sunroof, there's heated seats, and they are leather, of course, and they are very comfortable. Everything in here, all the touch surfaces where your elbows would meet, it's all soft touch leather. Haval really has done their homework. And that leads me on to the biggest change, and the thing that I'm most happy about. It would seem that one of the Chinese manufacturers has actually listened, and Haval has put together a drivetrain in this vehicle that is absolutely superb. Under the bonnet of this Haval H7 is a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine that is mated to a 9-speed DCT gearbox and an all-wheel drive system. Now, regular viewers will note that we have always been very critical about the throttle and gearbox programming on a lot of Chinese products. And I'm happy to report that Haval has gotten this one just right. It is absolutely fantastic. The throttle response is gradiated and the gear changes super slick. Power delivery from this power plant will be 170 kilowatts and 380 Newton meters, and you really can feel it out on the road. It's just so responsive. Now, you can tone that down with the 9 drive modes. There's a couple for the tar, and then there's a whole bunch for off-road, for things like snow and gravel. And then, of course, you have for the road, sport, eco, and normal. We have it in the sport mode at the moment, and it really is. It's just such a responsive drive. Now, yes, this is an all-wheel drive SUV. And with 210 mils of ground clearance and some nice big chunky 19-inch wheels, yes, you can go off the beaten track. But without a low range, you might just get yourself stuck. It does have a locking rear diff though, so maybe not all that bad. I'd still check the arrival, departure, and breakover angles before trying something like the Oregon Trail. Now, another thing that we've always been really critical about with Chinese products is the terrible fuel economy. And once again, I'm glad to report that Haval have somehow magically sorted this out. Haval claims that the H7 should return about 9.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, on our combined cycle testing, at the very worst, and that is us being complete hooligans in sport mode, we've returned 11.7. But just this morning, on the drive in, 7.9. That is unheard of. It is unbelievable. And I really want to commend the people who programmed the engine and drivetrain and gearbox in this H7. You guys did an amazing job. That means that theoretically you should be able to get 730 kilometers on a tank of fuel. Now, if we just quickly touch on the safety aspects of the Haval H7, there's a full ADAS system, which is Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, 6 airbags, ISOFIX, there's a 360-degree camera, your lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, the list goes on and on. This is probably one of the safer vehicles that Haval has put out. So, with all of that said, how much are you going to pay for a new Haval H7? Well, there are 3 models available. There's an entry level, there's this one, and then there's a hybrid model coming later this year. This is the 2-liter Super Luxury all-wheel drive model. And for that, you're going to pay 671,950 Rand. And with that, you get a 7-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty and a 7-year, 75,000 kilometer service plan. And that is just brilliant. You would be hard-pressed to find a vehicle that drives this well, is this well equipped, and still pay under 800,000 Rand. Color me impressed. Haval, you guys have outdone yourselves with the H7. It's not very often that we heap praise on a vehicle, and yes, I have wanted to find something that I dislike about this car, but in all honesty, I love it. I would personally spend my own money on one of these. Haval have changed the game for themselves once again. If you've enjoyed this quick review of the Haval H7, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you'd like to see us test something else, drop it in the comments. Maybe we'll see what we can do. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.